Hello, Jillian here. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to kind of just sit down on this very gloomy day. I feel like in most places, January and February is just like, January felt like literally 5 years. February felt like 5 minutes, and I just feel like it's been 10 years of rain. I wanted to sit down and film a little like soft glam makeup look because I'm about to go hang out with one of my longest friends from high school, and thought it would be fun to use some of my new products and get ready with you here today. So if that's something you would like to see, then just keep on watching and
let's do this.
Okay, so first things first, I'm just taking a little bit of face spray. This is the Mario Badescu facial spray. It's the one that I feel like everybody has, but I saw it in the Nordstrom's rack. You know when you're checking out and there's all those little, I call it the gotcha area, but it's just the little area that like you have to buy everything while you're waiting to check out. Got it there, $5, so just gonna spray a little bit of that on my, also, please don't mind the makeup on my collar. Just how it goes sometimes, you know? This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I am just going to take a little bit of this and apply it to my eyes. I just like to take my, which one is this? I think this is the Wet n Wild Beauty Sponge. It's super cheap and I like it a little bit better than the Beauty Blender. It's really, really soft. Makes my skin feel really nice. It's like a little pillow. Okay, now I am just going to take a little bit of translucent powder. Actually, this is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in shade 05
Claire?
Oh, Fair Claire. This setting powder is actually one of my favorites. It's so stinking good. So I'm just taking a little bit in the lid. This is the e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm just tapping that in and putting that onto my eyes just to give it a little bit of a base so that it's not moving around. Next, I like to give my lashes a little bit of a curl before they have any product on them, just so that I don't mess up the product. I don't know how people do this and it looks so effortless. I feel like every time I curl my lashes, I'm just like, anyway, I do that. Today, I am going to use a product that I think is one of my favorite products that I've used this year so far. And I know it's only almost March, but it's good. It's just good. I splurged and bought a couple of the MAC Glow Play blushes. Oh, these are so good. This is my favorite of the shades. It's called Totally Synced, and it's like this lavender purple shade. It's just gorgeous. It's one of those blushes that you kind of look at it and it's a little bit weird and a little intimidating because you're like, I don't really want purple on the apples of my cheeks,
but you do.
Trust me. You do. It doesn't matter if you're fair or dark skinned. I've seen the promotional photos for both on the MAC website and it's gorgeous. I also bought this shade because it was highly recommended by several people that I like to watch here on the YouTubes, and it is the shade So Natural. And I have to be careful because this shade did come loose from the component, so I don't want it to fall out all over my bedspread. But it's just this very natural tan, almost beige blush shade, and I don't know about you guys, but I am dying over this packaging. It's so cool. Like the acrylic just gives me major like early 2000s vibes. I don't know why, but I really love this packaging. Then there's the formula. This formula is like nothing I have ever seen before. It is very creamy, so I'll kind of just like show you. It's very, very creamy, but then watch this. It is bouncy. Like, do you see? It's the best texture. I've used it on my eyes, lips, and cheeks. I want to buy all of the colors. Today, I'm gonna use So Natural. I have found that I really love this shade on my eyes most of all. So I am just going to take this little Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that I got in one of their palettes because it's sitting right next to me. And I'm just gonna swirl that in the blush and apply on my transition, or apply for my transition, on my transition. You know what I mean. I'm just taking that So Natural shade and bringing it down to my lid as well, so that it kind of just has a full wash of color. Now, just to give my eye a little more dimension, I'm going in with the shade Totally Synced, and I'm just going to apply this shade to the outer portion of my eye, and by kind of stamping it and then just like blending it into the outer V. I'm going to try to come close enough to where you can kind of see a little bit better just how subtle this is, but also at the same time, it just gives such a pretty warmth to the eyes. I really like. Can you see my cat back there? He's been playing with this fly that has hoarded himself into my house just for warmth. Poor guy. My cat has been antagonizing him for hours. So I'm very sorry if that is distracting. I just love this. It's so simple and so easy, and I can throw it on in 5 minutes, but in person it actually looks a lot more pigmented than on camera right now. I just love it so much. Hello, Louie. What are you doing? Update, he has brought me the fly. Well, I was going to show the fly, but he just ate it, so. All right, now I am just going in with my mascara. This is Glossal Mascara in Glam Brown by Maybelline, I think. All of the lettering is completely wiped out, so that's how you know I use this mascara all the time. I really like to use brown mascara when I'm doing a soft eye look. I feel like it makes the color just a little less intense at the lash and opens my eye up. Just very soft, romantic. Now I'm just going in with a little bit of Future Dew by Glossier. And how I like to apply this product is I put one pump into my fingers and just kind of like do a little dance and put that on the high points of my cheekbones, on my chin, and down my neck a little bit. I'll take just a little bit that was left in between my fingers and put up by my forehead, kind of in the middle of my brow, and then pushing up into my hairline. And you want to be really careful, especially on the cheekbones here, that you're not working the product too much into the skin if you want it to retain that really like dewy finish. But I just love this product. It's one of my favorites. Okay, this foundation I got because Kathleen Lights recommended it in a favorites video, and I was like, if Kathleen says it's good, it's good. You know? So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Up to 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation with SPF 25. I really like this foundation. It is a very medium coverage foundation that I feel like you can make full depending on how you layer it. It has a very liquid, almost like viscous texture, so it goes on very light. To me, I feel like I have a little bit more control over the product. It has kind of like a funky SPF bad cologne smell. It goes away within a couple of seconds, and so I feel like I can, it's like all my exes, you know? I can tolerate it for a second, but then it's out. And I really like this foundation because, as you can see, you can still tell that I have freckles. There's a little bit of rosiness in my cheeks, but it, for the most part, really evened out my skin tone and gave me this really pretty dewy glow. I like that it's kind of in between a satin and dewy finish, so you feel like your skin has movement, but it's not wet. To each wetness their own. Oh my God, that doesn't sound good. Now I'm just going into my Glossier Stretch Concealer, and this is in shade G10, and I'm just going to apply a little bit right underneath my eye for a little extra coverage and a little extra shine as well. This particular formula has a very glossy finish, which I really enjoy. Now that I've got my base on, I am just going to take a flat-ended brush and go back into the So Natural shade and go underneath my lash line. All right, now to warm up my skin just a bit, I'm going in with my Cover FX Monochromatic Bronzer in shade Sunkissed Bronze. And I am actually going to dip into this matte side right here and just kind of bronze slash contour with that shade. Okay, I'm going in with a highlight. This is MAC Skin Finish in Double Gleam. And I'm just going to take this little brush from It Cosmetics. It's just like this little cat paw brush if you watched the Tati and Scott Barnes video. I'm going into that highlight and just kind of pressing that onto the high points of my face. I've started highlighting this way and I've liked a lot how much this really makes the highlight glow from within and it gives just the most beautiful texture to the skin as opposed to caking it on with like my fan brush. You can kind of just see how much dimension my cheekbone has now. I like to do almost like an S shape with my highlighter. I like to come obviously at the top of my cheekbone, but I also go a little bit and carve out the apple of my cheek and then come back up and go up at the temple. And that just gives me like a full-on dewy effect. I just also like that you can see the glow from the front of my face instead of just applying the highlight right here and only seeing it if I've turned. But I love this color, it's so great. Now I'm just going in with a little bit of my Benefit Brow Gel. It's the Gimme Brow in shade 4. And I am just going to fluff my brows up a little bit. Oh!
I hate when I do that.
Oh man. What I usually do when this happens, I can just kind of take a clean finger and just kind of brush it into the brow. And it's like it never happened. And then I'm just going to take my beauty blender and pat that area because it still has a little bit of the foundation left on it. And the moment I've been waiting for is blush. Usually I apply my blush before highlight, but when I'm using this particular formula, I really like to apply my highlight first and then go back in with my blush just so that my blush isn't covered up by anything and it gets to kind of be the star of the show. If you use a brush, it is a lot more of a light flush to the skin. I personally am obsessed with this color and I want more pigment. So I'm going to swirl my finger around in the product. And then I just dab it onto the apples of my cheeks. And you can already see, okay, first of all, look at that color. Oh my gosh. This color to me is just so romantic and pretty. And it's so easy. I've never had this blush go on patchy. Like, this is just so stinking pretty. Oh, I love it so much. It's so nice. What I will do sometimes is if I feel like I just want a little extra pop of highlight, I will go back into whatever highlight I was using and lightly tap my finger into the product and just kind of tap that onto a very isolated area as opposed to using a brush. I just want a little bit more control over where the product goes. Okay, and for lips, I'm going into this ColourPop Lippy Pencil in shade Beeper, which is, oh gosh, my Beeper has seen better days. I obviously love this guy, but I just am going to go underneath my lip like that, and then a little on top. And then I'm just going to take my middle finger, just smudge that into the skin. And I like my lip product to be a little bit messy, especially if I'm doing a soft glam look. I don't want it to look super done. And then once that's got a nice little wash of color, I will take a nude lipstick. This is ColourPop shade Quickie, and it's just a very pretty, warm caramel nude shade. And I am just going to put that. Okay, I'm going to put that in the center of my lip and just kind of smudge it.
Smudge it to the limit.
And then just going a little bit back in with that darker shade. All right, guys, this is the finished look for my rainy, lazy, soft glam, kind of a daisy. I don't know, I'm sorry. I really like how this makeup turned out. It's just one of those types of makeup looks where I can put it on and feel really, really confident, but also kind of really feel like myself, which is nice to feel most of the time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup, and if you did and would like to see more videos from me, please do hit the subscribe button. I would absolutely love to see you here again. If you don't mind, leave a comment so that we can be friends on this little community that YouTube has for us here together. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Escape reality.